Yeah, that's I wasn't one. That was one of the subjects I actually want to talk to you about too. I don't know if it was up there. Was Linux using? I don't know the name of the program you're using now for music, as versus Nuendo.
Oh yeah.
Like as a technical, is it similar enough that you could use freeware and like because you're doing it professionally using a shareware or freeware program, and you decided like you have the money, the capacity, the space to buy the whatever the
Well, it saved me a ton of money for one.
yeah.
For one. Yeah, it saved me a ton of money because I didn't have like I was using Windows XP for like I don't know, probably
To last
the last decade. And
just
I was
stop.
really fast at Cubase, and then I decided, okay, well this computer's obsolete now because like things are getting upgraded, and like I can't even use Dropbox to send files anymore. Time for a little bit of an upgrade, and it's like, okay, well I can buy Windows, I can buy a new workstation, like a new copy of Cubase or whatever, or Pro Tools or whatever. There goes $500, and then yeah, on top of that, I'd have to buy all my plugins again and stuff. And I was like, okay, well, hang on a second. Linux is a thing, and it's open source, so most of the software is free or really cheap, or they run by donation. So, and I know that like started doing my research, and I was like, oh, okay, there's tons of customizability in there, and you can basically make anything do anything you want with the right knowledge and a little bit of programming, which I don't have, but luckily I had lots of time. So here I am 3 months later, starting to get comfortable with it, and the DAW that I use, the recording software is called Ardor or Ardour. Ardour, it's French, and it's like the yeah, it does everything you need it to do, but it's really clunky unless you know how to do like basic scripting and coding so that you can customize it. And like, yeah, 3 months to just get like my basic footing where I'm like, okay, well I can probably do this. I can probably do it. And yeah, it does everything you need to do, but the learning curve is incredibly steep. So be forewarned. It's great though. I love it.
So yeah, then in application of learning, I don't know. I've been hearing from people, and since I don't know when it comes to producing, I'm basically speaking that language of whatever it is where you're talking completely out of your ass. There's a word for that.
Talking out of your ass.
Yeah, so I know, but I hear everybody telling me that Macs are easy to use for audio programming, and that they basically will help you do it themselves, like friendly wise. Now, I don't know, is that true, or is that just Apple trying to sell me something I don't want?
Well, Apple's always trying to sell you something they won't want.
Yeah, I don't want it.
And they don't fix their products either, but that's another story. I don't want to get into hating on Apple.
No.
Their stuff's great if you want it to just work. Like you can get GarageBand if you're like a complete beginner. Just get an Apple that comes pre-installed with GarageBand. You can learn the basics on there because it's like it's easy mode, and people have made albums on GarageBand. Why not? If you know what you're doing, if you're not afraid to like get out there and try stuff and want to do that, go ahead. Go out and buy the MacBook and do it that way. It's a way to go. Or you can go Paul's route and you can use your 2007 computer with Windows on it and download a copy of. I don't recommend Audacity.
That's what I use, Audacity, yeah.
You can grab my old copy of Cubase LE and you can install that and try that. There's also like Reaper's good. I think you can download it for free or very cheap. And also the Cubase, highly recommended. Ableton, if you're like a producer, kind of electronic guy. Yeah, there's Audacity. It's a thing.
It's good for waves.
It's good
for putting an idea together and then taking it to Kodi.
Yeah.
And then taking the waves out and then putting them into a proper format.
It's really good for podcasting because it's all destructive editing. So you have like your region stuff here. I could pull this up even. I'll show you Audacity another time.
Yeah, it's worth looking at.
It's worth looking at, and it's just like the thing you have to know for anybody who is not a complete amateur here is that Audacity is all destructive editing. So you can't like go back and like, I made this edit here and I just want to erase it and drag the region back like you can in in other software, it doesn't work like that. Like you adjust the gain on something, it processes the audio and scrunches the WAV file, and then you're stuck with what you got. So you got to commit. You got to really know how to commit when you're working in Audacity. I'm not saying don't do it, but
15
be forewarned.
years in Audacity. I've been doing it forever.
Yeah, and eventually you start to get good at it. You start to learn what to do, what not to do.
I don't even update it. I'm still running the one from like 2007.
Yeah.
I had to rewire it to get Guitar Rig and everything to work with it, and it's got all my stuff's run like hard lines and primitive. But I was going to ask you again, is Nuendo, is that Cubase? Because what is Nuendo?
Nuendo is an offshoot of Cubase.
Oh, okay, because like
They
I
just
was,
have different features and it's laid out slightly differently.
because whenever I didn't really know what Cubase was forever, I thought it was like, you know what? There's all those system of blocks, and there's that little fur ball with the long nose jumping down
That's
it.
Qbert.
Yeah. They're like, yeah, I was just put it to Cubase. And I was like, is he working or is he?
Yeah.
No, I had them crossed again. It's Qbert.
Yeah, I'd recommend using that stuff if you can, or you can use something like this. I don't know if I can just. Let's move the camera again. How do I point this thing?
Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
You got some of it.
Here we go. Zoom R16. It's got 8 inputs, and it supplies phantom power, and it's got 2 built-in mics, and it's like $500.
Oh wow.
That was like 8 years ago. So now you can get them used for like, for $20.
Give him 40
maybe.
for this
Canadian.
one right now.
So yeah, I use one of those. I bought a new one and then it broke, and now I don't have that anymore. So because I sent it back, and it's going to be 2 weeks till I get my refund. I can buy a new one. But it does the job. Use what you got and make it work. So the thing to watch out for with those, like the lower end kind of cheaper audio interfaces, is the preamp quality is a little bit. It's a little bit iffy. Sometimes you get that static sound, and that's not pleasant. You got to take your compressed air and get in there and clean out all the pots, clean out all the cigarette smoke and dust and stuff.
So you don't smoke in here anymore?
Yeah, we don't smoke inside. But yeah, they get dirty, dusty. They're not the cleanest. There's definitely better quality stuff out there, but it works. If you're on a budget, use one of those. Or like those live recorders for recording live that I showed you one earlier. Paul's got one. And like Zoom makes good ones of those. We're not sponsored by them, but just talking about what I know, when I've tried some of their products, they all work quite well for what they are.
Hey Zoom.
Yes.
Stop. This guy's something.
No, we're not seeking sponsors.
We're
No
not
sponsors, Paul. We're not.
And what I don't,
we're not that hurt.
My audio interface was like a Steinberg, I think. It's
Yeah.
actually Sam's. It's not even mine. And then I use a Tascam. I won't spring to buy one. So people keep lending them to me, and I use them
I
for a
lent
while.
this one to Paul
I
for
use
years.
that
It's
one.
an old Tascam from like a long time ago.
Works
And
awesome.
It works okay.
Wow.
I mean, the newer ones though, like the technology's improved so much that they just sound clean, and like, there's way less fucking around.
Which is key.
Yeah.
Nothing is worse than, like, if I showed you, I think I got a decent enough picture of the rig that I built at John and E's, and it's all hardline through like 1980s gear, and it's all fine right up until I go away for 3 weeks and come back, and I forget how it works.
Yeah. How does this work again? Here's another thing I was gonna try. One of these. This is an actual sound card, but it's got. Where's the camera here? It's got the things for. Well, it sends to an external unit. I haven't installed it yet because I don't even know if it'll work on Linux. It probably will. It's got this, which is just basically. It's got dials on it. It's got a couple of guitar inputs,
Oh, yeah,
but it's got optical in and out. So right there, that I could, in theory, get a whole bunch of extra tracks in there. So this is Paul's setup here.
one of them, no, this way. You can't.
You can't see it super clear, but you got. Oh, that's a clean setup actually.
Yeah. It's like I got the old pyramid board. You can see it.
Yeah,
And then it's
so
all
it looks
hard.
like-
But down on is the Steinberg is there, and then on the floor is my pedal box that I built with all my pedals.
Oh yeah, and you've got your laptop and your monitor.
Yeah, 2 monitors just like you got.
What's this black square in the bottom corner?
That's a mixer, but it's an old analog mixer.
Oh, it's an analog mixer. Okay,
It's
that's cool.
Yeah, it's that's like
And
I mean
then
it's
that-
all hard lines. It's
Yeah,
all
and then that
TRS.
mixes into your Sansui amplifier. That was living here for a long time.
Yeah.
It's a nice unit.
And I like it because what we were just talking about, like the crappy gritty sound, it has it, and then I kind of just like now I just like it.
Yeah.
And then since we got our phone out, it's important to find. Well, look at all the pictures at Edgefest.
Oh, you got pictures of Edgefest? We should send those to Lori. I want those.
Look at how fat this cat is. Look
oh
at him.
yeah, that.
Look at him. Look at that. And look at how many PBRs he's drank. I'm sorry, I gotta insert one in everything. Look at how fat this cat is. Cody's just gonna edit it out. Yeah.
Maybe,
Yeah.
probably not. We'll probably just break this up into segments. Are we done talking about gear now? Can we talk about something else?